Good evening and welcome to the shed. Hashtag Irish Bills Mafia with Trevor. You're very welcome along to the show. It's a Friday evening. It's a beautiful evening here in the west of Ireland. I just said I'd do my show tonight. Give my picks for game week 7. Talk a little bit about the Bills, the bye week, what we've seen so far, what we need to see, and what kind of changes. And this day last year, well, this day I was in America, but this date I was flying to America for the trip of a lifetime. And um, I just said I'd revisit it. It's an anniversary, one of the happiest anniversaries of my life. So we're going to revisit it and talk a little bit about the trip and uh, those wonderful people that brought me there and the wonderful things that happened. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. If you have any comments, please um, leave some comments in the in the comment box here in the YouTube channel, or you get me on uh, Facebook and at Trevor Marley, and you get me on Instagram at the Irish Bills Mafia, Twitter or X. It seems to be a waste of time, but I'm there as well, Irish_Bills, if you want to drop a comment there or chat or anything like that. So welcome along to the show. So tonight what I'll do is I'll run through quickly the picks I have for this weekend. We improved last week a good bit, but there's still a lot more improvement for doing. Um, got 9 and 6. It was better than 4 and 12, I think, the week before. So we have to get back to 15 and 1 or better. We'll do our best to try. It wasn't a good start though. Last night's game, the Thursday night football, was between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I will be honest, and I've always been honest. Um, I was in bed and I was thinking, who am I going to go for in this one? And my stomach said, go for Bengals. And my head said, go for the Steelers. So before I went to sleep, I said, I'm picking the Steelers as my pick. Woke up this morning, Bengals won 33-31. There you have it. I'm just looking here at the stats. Aaron Rodgers had 249 passing yards. He had 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Joe Flacco, former Browns quarterback earlier this season, who Mike Tomlin is not happy that he went to the Bengals. He had 342 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interception. It was the last kick field goal that won the game for the Bengals. It seemed to be a cracker. I haven't seen any highlights yet. I must watch them later. But I think he connected very well with Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase had 161 receiving yards out of 16 receptions, so averaging 10 yards per reception, and he had a touchdown. So, I also read today that Jake Browning isn't too happy. He's a bit pissed that he's on been put to a backup quarterback again. I don't know, will Joe Flacco do the job? But the Bengals are second in the division and they're 3-4, and they've handed the Steelers their second defeat of the season. So it'll be interesting to see. Um, as I said, I haven't seen anything in the game, so I'm just looking at stats here at the minute, and I will have a watch later on and see what the crack is. But by all accounts, it seemed to be a cracker. So they're 0-1 again this week. So we go to the next rest of the games. So the Rams are at the Jaguars. It's in Wembley, London. It's the third England or UK international game for the season and the final one there. Um, from what I was reading today, the Rams aren't coming to England until Saturday. Now, I know the Bills a few years ago didn't come to England until a Friday and it caught them up. Now, the Rams aren't flying from Los Angeles. They've been staying in Baltimore all week, but still, um, you need to come over and acclimatise. Like, rather than stay in Baltimore, they should have flown to London. The Cronkies aren't short a few quid, so I don't know what's the reason behind it, but we'll see. Puka Nacua, I think, is a major injury issue for the Rams. I'm picking the Jaguars in this because the only reason is they seem to be more settled when they get to London as like a second home to them. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is on fire or anything like that. I just think the travelling will catch up with the Rams in the game. I could be wrong, but I'm picking the Jaguars in this one. Then we have the New Orleans Saints at the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears pulled off a surprise in my eyes anyway, beating the Commanders last weekend. I'm picking the Bears. Ben Johnson's doing a good job. Caleb Williams is becoming the Caleb Williams everyone wanted, and the Bears are improving. Saying that, the Saints are a hard team to beat. Yes, they've only won one game, but they don't get steamrolled often. So, and as I know from playing ourselves, they really put it up to us. Even last week against the Patriots, they did lose, but they left nothing behind them on the field. There's a lot of trade rumors about Chris Olave. They may trade him. We'll see if he's something that we need, but we do need a wide receiver. Then we have the Dolphins at the Browns, two teams in shock and form. I was reading today, now again, how true it is. It's supposed to be very breezy in Cleveland on Sunday with gusts between 50 and 60 miles an hour at times. So it might not be the most exciting game with for skill levels, but I'm picking the Browns in this one. The Dolphins are a mess. I see Tua criticize people last weekend after the game, and then he apologized for it. He must have been told to. Mike McDaniels is on a very hot seat, and I think that the Cleveland Browns will get their win on Sunday. Then you have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs. All I'm going to say is I'm picking Kansas City Chiefs. As long as the referees ref it fair, it might be a tight game, but people are calling out and questioning calls not against the Chiefs, for the Chiefs in games. And there was a couple of calls last weekend that were very, very dubious. And, sometimes there is no smoke without fire, and there is smoke. But I'm picking the Chiefs to win this game. That's all I'm going to say. Then you have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know what Vikings are going to turn up. I don't know what Eagles are going to turn up. No more than ourselves. They've been stuttering the last few weeks. But I'm picking the Eagles to win this because I know they're the defending Super Bowl champions, and you get an idea what they have. Whereas the Vikings, they do have Jefferson and Addison amongst others. But what quarterback is going to be thrown and how effective they'll be, time will tell. Then we have the Carolina Panthers at the New York Jets. The Jets are 0-6. The Panthers have won their 3 games at home. They look very well, and we have them in game week 8. And I'm be honest, right now I'm nervous about it. Bryce Young is looking good. Their running game is looking good. Their offense is looking good. They are improving to beat the Cowboys deservedly last weekend, and I'm picking the Panthers to beat the Jets this weekend. Saying that, they haven't won away from home, so the Jets do have a chance. And Justin Fields has said he's been holding himself back a little bit, so he may be going to be a bit more expansive this weekend. Garrett Wilson is getting very frustrated, and there'll be a break there. It'll either be Garrett Wilson goes or Justin Fields goes, but one of the two, if it doesn't connect pretty soon. Then we have the Patriots, the Titans. It's Mike Vrabel's derby game, where he's now the manager or the head coach of the Patriots, and he was the head coach of the Titans. I'm picking the Patriots. The Titans are without a head coach or permanent head coach at the minute. Now, sometimes a team lifts itself when it comes into something like that, and maybe Cam Ward and co will really just let themselves go and blow the Patriots out of the water. But I don't see it happen. I don't see Mike Vrabel allowing it to happen. The Patriots are our biggest threat in the AFC East this year by a long shot, and they're going to pick up wins, so we have to match it. But I'm picking the Patriots to win this game this weekend. Then we have the Giants at the Broncos. Giants were awesome last weekend against the Eagles. Jackson Dart and Cam Scalaboon co really, really cut the Eagles to pieces. Their defense did very well. They're going up against a very strong Broncos defense, and Bo Nix is playing very well. And for me, I'm picking the Broncos just more so on experience than anything else. I think the Giants will get wins along the way, but I think they'll have losses. I wouldn't say be surprised if you see the Giants win it, but it'll be a bit of a shock. I'm picking the Broncos to win. Then we have the Packers at the Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett looked very good last weekend for the quarterback of the Cardinals. They really pushed the Colts all the way and were lucky to lose it. The Packers came out on fire in week 1, week 2, and have been stuttering since. Well, I'm giving them the win this weekend because I don't know if it's Kyler or Jacoby that's going to be quarterback, but I just think that the Packers will. They're fighting with the Detroit Lions for the number one seed in the AFC or NFC North. So I think they'll pick up these wins, and I think they'll beat the Cardinals this weekend. The Commanders or the Cowboys. I'll be honest, this is a hard one to call. Commanders were surprisingly beat last weekend by the Bears. Um, they conceded a lot of points. They just score a good few points. Cowboys are scoring points for fun but can't defend to save their lives. And only on that reason, I'm picking the Commanders to win. Dak Prescott is doing a great job as quarterback of the Cowboys. Pickens is playing well. The running game is going well. Um, Jaden Daniels is also, he's lifted the Commanders. He hasn't had his second season slump. I just think that the Commanders, right now, they're a better team than the Cowboys all over, and I think they'll win the game. Then we have the Falcons at the 49ers. Again, I don't know if it's going to be Mac Jones quarterback. I don't think Brock Purdy is back. Falcons deservedly beat the Bills last weekend. Beat us, convincingly, even though there's only 10 points in the difference. Penix Jr., Drake London, Kyle Pitts, B. John Robinson, and co. Are playing very well. And the 49ers are hit and miss so far. They have an awful lot of injuries, and I'm just going to pick the Falcons to win this game. We'll see how it goes. Then we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Detroit Lions. This has the ingredients to be a cracker. I'm picking Tampa Bay to win this one. I know I went against Baker a few weeks ago at Seattle, and he burnt me. And I was just looking at it, and I'm going, I know Jared Goff and Gibbs of Montgomery and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Laporta and Tesla and all that. They have a wicked offense. Dan Campbell had a defeat in Kansas last week and will not let that settle. But Baker Mayfield went there 2 years ago and won the playoffs. And I just think that Baker Mayfield can do it again. So I'm picking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even with all their injuries. And then the last game Monday night is the Houston Texans at Seattle Seahawks. Texans had a big win in Baltimore a few weeks ago, and the Seahawks had a big win in Jacksonville last weekend. I'm picking the Seahawks. They're at home. They'll have the 12th man. Sam Darnold has not missed a beat since moving from Minnesota. Jackson Smith and Jigba is playing out of his skin. The Texans are improving. I just think Seattle will be too strong for them this week. So that's my pick there. On the bye week is ourselves, the Bills, and the Baltimore Ravens. And both teams right now need it. So that is my picks. Let me know what you think. If you agree, disagree, or whatever. It's been a crack anyway, if nothing else. And we see can we get better than 9 from last week. As I said, as of now, we're 0-1. So the next thing I want to talk about is the Bills. So the Bills are on the bye week, and for me, as a Bills fan, that was the worst performance I've seen as a Bills fan last weekend, and it's been coming. Now, I've followed a lot of YouTube channels and social media channels and podcasts and the whole lot, and I have heard a lot of rumblings and read fans' comments and stuff that they want McDermott gone, they want Brady gone, they want Babbage gone, and they want a new regime in. What do you think? Do you think this is the right thing or not? For me, I will not comment either way because as a fan, you support your team. And right now, Sean McDermott, Brady, and Babbage are our head coach and coordinators. And if you go shouting for them to be sacked, you're not shouting for the other team. You're only making noise. Not saying people are wrong. That's just my 2 cents in it. So I don't believe in shouting for them to be sacked. Whatever Pagulas or Brandon Bean decide, I'm fine with that. They have delivered on paper a team that can win a Super Bowl, right? Sean McDermott has proven he is a winning coach for the Buffalo Bills. Joe Brady proved last year he can um, make this Bills offense one of the best in the NFL. Bobby Babbage has to pick up a lot of slack because last year the defense was poor, so they got some players to improve this year. Now the NFL is a game that you cannot sleep on, and if what works for you one year will not always work for you the next year. And what I'm concerned about is our offensive play is getting very stale. And when I say that is last year everybody eats, and I'm not fighting with everybody eats. Don't get me wrong. I think it was the right way, and last year it worked perfect. Um, Teams couldn't adapt to it. Josh Allen had an offensive line that kept him protected long enough that he could, most of the times, if his first read wasn't on or second, he could find a third. And some of the plays were out of this world. And they will happen again. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not saying they're gone or anything. But you look at the Eagles last year. Saquon Barkley was their weapon. And now they're a team of nothing because teams are stopping Saquon Barkley, and they're now finding out Jalen Hurts isn't the quarterback they thought he was for the passing game. And he's an exceptional quarterback and he has a Super Bowl ring. And don't get me wrong, but he's not a Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow. And that's why I don't have him in the top tier of my quarterbacks. So, us as Bills, we need to find another way of spreading it and taking pressure off that if we go short, like to Kahil Shakir, uh, or short to a running back and let them do the runs like Ty Johnson or James Cook, that we have someone that can stretch the field down and pull defenses back to give us them options. We also need, I think it won't happen now, but at the end of the season, a freshness in the offensive line. Them guys are great, don't get me wrong, but they've been the same guys pounding, 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 and they're 99% of the time on the field. Other parts of the pitch that has that kind of pressure, they are getting more rests. But every time Josh Allen goes on the field, them 4 to 5 guys are nearly always on protecting them. And they're doing a great job, but they need help. So we need to have something to freshen it up. Um, we need a wide receiver one. Is it Chris Olave? I don't know. But we need someone. I've heard Jaden Waddle from Miami Dolphins rumored. He's a guy that can stretch teams. You don't want to see a Dolphin come in into the Bills, but if he's going to improve the team, football is a game where, uh, you know, as a player, you go where the money is and you'll play for where the money is. So maybe he's a guy to look at if the Dolphins would do a trade. Um, Chris Olave is a guy that's playing very well at the minute, even though he has a rookie Spencer Rattler as his quarterback. It's his first season. He's still making plays. I don't know, like AJ Brown has been rumored from the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know, do you want him? He's like a Stephon Diggs drama. He might do the job, but if you win a Super Bowl, you want a happy team. And I don't know, will you have a happy team with AJ Brown? Now, not my choice. If he comes, you support him, and if he doesn't, you won't. But these are the kind of players that we need that are standout, will be there when you throw them a ball. My issue, and I don't like giving out about players, is you have Keon Coleman. He's supposed to be that guy. They drafted him. He played very well last year. He started well this year. He's now gone off the boil. He's now not apparently late for team meetings, walkthroughs, causing hassle. Don't need that. What I need from the Buffalo Bills too is, um, to be honest, the leaders, Josh Allen, Bernard, these guys, Matt Milano, to stand up and these young guys that are causing trouble, put them in their place and tell them, look where you are, look what you're competing for. If you don't want to be here, piss off. We don't need you. Sean McDermott too. Like Sean McDermott's a lovely guy, but I said it last week. I said Tuesday night. I said in my post, nice guys win fucking nothing. In the story, and in sport, You go through any team that wins something, be it GA, be it soccer, be it NFL, there's any team that has winners don't have nice guys. They have one or two, but they're ruthless guys that knows how to win and want to win. I have a county here, and I'm as proud of it as I am a Bills fan or an Arsenal fan. Love it to anything. Will support it when I'm in heaven. Uh, it, the thing about it is, we've got to All Irelands, and the team that has beat us has been not last year, but more ruthless than us. And nice guys win nothing. End of story. So we need to get, for this break, our defense needs to step up. Now, Michael Hoyt and Larry Ogunjobi will be back after the bye week. So it'll be interesting to see how much more they will improve the defense, but we need to stop the run game. Now, our secondary is absolute muck at the minute. That needs to sort itself out. And then our offense needs to get back to protecting Josh. And then the guys that are supposed to make plays when Josh throws balls make plays. It sounds simple. It's not simple, but if we're going to win a Super Bowl, or you want to win a Super Bowl this year, this is the time. You have the Ravens stuttering. They won't stutter forever. The Chiefs are hit and miss. The Eagles are hit and miss. You know, there is other teams coming up that you have to watch, but right now, on paper, this team has been building for a number of years, and it's where it's supposed to be. And the thing is, are you going to let it fly away and go, oh, remember that time we had a chance and we forgot it? We just didn't do the extra 5%, or guys didn't give it everything? Or do you want to be the guys that when you go into our new stadium next August, September, and when the first game comes along, you're dropping the banner and Super Bowl champions? As a fan, all I can do is support and hope. As the players over there, they're the guys that can do it. But at the end of this year, if the Bills don't get to at least either the AFC Championship game and lose it narrowly, or get to a Super Bowl, there could be regime change over there next year, and I hope not. But anyway, so let's hope this week they have a rest, come back, and things get fixed next week, and guys are accountable for what they do because they're getting well paid. Like, we are in jobs over here, there's people that aren't a fraction paid the way them guys are, and they have more responsibility than what them guys have. So these guys need to up it. They they have from February till August to party, if they want to party. From August to the following February, you want to win, put your head down and win. That's all I'm going to say. So go Bills. Um, then my last part tonight is, it's a year today since I went to America. To be honest, it was the most amazing trip. Outside of my family, this was the most amazing thing I've ever done in my life. Um, I'll never forget these people that helped me get over there, got me over there, and sponsored me over there. Um, Mark and Kate Schroeder, they're two of the greatest people you could ever meet. And I'm blessed to have met them by chance, got to know them, and they looked after me over there 110 million%. The other sponsors that brought me over, Maxwell Murphy Law, Billy brought me over, O'Sullivan's Brewery from Kilkenny, Michael Mead, he gave us the match tickets. Ellicott Development, Eric Bowen, uh, gentleman Eric, he put me up in the hotel. Made in the Mist in Niagara Falls, they brought us for a spin up to the Niagara Falls. Something I watched on telly as a child, never thought I'd ever see it there. It was absolutely out of this world. And the Buffalo Irish Centre, I did my podcast, and they are one on the Saturday night. Tim Flanagan and co. Tim, gentleman, great man for the GA, enjoyed every second. And they are the people that sponsored me to go over last year, and I will be forever thankful to them and grateful to them. I met some wonderful people over there. I met Larry McMahon, a gentleman. Berkey Sports, Berkey is again another gentleman. Derek and Jennifer Kinney. Derek is a Kilshamot man, Porrick Walsh, another Kilchimot man. We had ice cream on the final night, and we went for wings, and like it was like you knew them all your life. Just settle in and talk. Uh, Also, at the game, I had him on the podcast or on the show there a few weeks ago. Will Wolford, a former um, Bills player and former Steelers player. He actually played in Ireland in 1997, and we did a bit of a chat there that day, the day of the game. My co-partner on a Tuesday night, Therese Fortin Barnes, um, she had a bunch of Germans with her that weekend. And speaking of one of them, Jens Michaels, he was from Bills Mafia, Germany. Gentleman, gentleman, I hope to get on the show pretty soon. Ali and Jeff Gillette, um, they are Kate and Mark's daughter and son-in-law, two beautiful people. Seth and Jeff do be messaging every so often, and great old crack, amongst others. Now, I know I met a load of other people, and anyone's names I left out, I do apologise. I was also privileged to do a podcast. Unfortunately, the sound didn't work on it, and I'll be honest, I was caught off guard, and I was nervous, and I probably didn't do it justice anyway. But I still met these two guys, two great guys, Ed Rutkowski and Ed Rutkowski is a gentleman. He was a part of the Buffalo Bills team in 1964 and 65 that won they were called the AFL at the time, two FAL championships, and Booker Edgerton, two absolute gentlemen. They were both part of that team. They came out that night. We did a podcast. The sound didn't work right. I'll be honest, I was nervous. I probably wasn't great either because I was more when I did my own one afterwards, and we got. I was more at ease because I knew what I was talking about. But when I was with themselves, these are two giants of the game in Buffalo, two greats that right now, if you want to call championships, have two championships that this current team don't have. They've won a lot more besides that, but um, they made me feel at ease. There was no, um, you weren't feeling out of place or feeling awkward that you were in the shadow of some, great people. They spoke to me and respected me, and they could have said, "Here's the gringo from Ireland," but didn't. They talked to me and were two gentlemen and were nice off camera to talk to as well, easy going. And I stayed a while and they left, and I got my pictures with them, and I'll be forever grateful. It was a wonderful weekend. Um, Seeing the Buffalo Stadium, seeing where they train, where the press conferences are done, to walk out on that pitch and put my flag on the Buffalo field underneath the Buffalo's centre field legs, walk in the end zone, go into the training area, match day, get the atmosphere down to Big Tree, meet a rake of brilliant people. I have photographs of people, and I'm going to put them up on Facebook. And if anyone knows who these are, please, because I'd love to get to contact with them. Uh, you meet so many people and you don't know who they are, but you want to get to know them just to make friends with them. We went for Ted's. We went to Ted's for Mark and Kay brought me to Ted's for hot dogs. I wouldn't be a hot dog fan before I went there, and my God, they were delicious. Went to the Niagara Falls. Wow, absolutely just wow. Um, Went to the Banshee pub. Connor was there. Another gentleman. He's from Belfast. I'm hoping to have Connor on the show soon too. Lovely place. Had pizza at the Imperial. Um, so just so many things. Um, One of the nicest things was getting there was when you got to the Buffalo Irish Centre. I was petrified because I was to London for the game. I was born in London and lived there for a year, but I never left Ireland other than that. And when I got to Buffalo, I met Kate and Mark, and we went to the hotel and got settled in, and then we went down to the Buffalo Irish Centre, and all you could see was it's concrete, 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 and you go, what the hell am I doing here? And the second I walked in the door of the Buffalo Irish Centre, it reminded me of our own local hall down here, down the road from me. And I just felt at 100% ease out there, relaxed, deep breath, and you're sound. And I was sound, and it was absolutely brilliant. I'm not doing the description justice. Uh, I have loads of pictures there. Like one of my favorite pictures is that one there when Josh Allen's picture was up in the hotel. I remember seeing it 2 months earlier when it went up, and I was going, "Wow, that's so cool! Wouldn't it be cool to see it?" I never thought that I'd be standing under it. Uh, and apparently, that was a Friday, the day we went to the Niagara Falls. They took it down on the Saturday, so I was awful lucky to get it taken. But it was brilliant. And to everyone that I met over there, thank you. To everyone that helped me get over there, thank you. Um, this is like there's anniversaries, family anniversaries. There's unfortunately sad anniversaries. There's happy anniversaries. But outside of everything I've done with my family, my from my parents, brothers, sisters, wife, kids, up to this, that's that trip there to America is up there with it. It was the most amazing thing I ever did. One day in the future, I hope to see the new Buffalo Stadium. But I never thought I'd see the old Buffalo Bills Stadium, and I'll always be able to say I was there, and it's thanks to them people. So thank you. So that is it, my friends. Thanks for watching the show. Um, I hope you all have a safe, happy, and healthy weekend and enjoy the football. It's good in a way. I think the Bills and me needed this weekend off. If we were playing Carolina this weekend, it would be a very different podcast, probably show. Um, wouldn't be as relaxed. I'm still annoyed. We lose games. I'm not annoyed that we lost the game. I'm annoyed at the manner. I'm annoyed at the last few weeks of the manner. Um, Especially when we've seen things we needed to improve from 2024, 2023, and apparently got the pieces. And yes, there are injuries, but every team has injuries. So you can't go, well, it's down to the injuries. Players should know what they're doing. And, you know, as I said, they get paid loads of money. And I ain't going to turn on anybody, but some ones need to buck up. And if they don't want to be there, piss off. And I don't mean that lightly, but you can. When I was playing football, you'd always be there. Is this guy going to show up? This is just local club football, or is he going to show up? And are we in trouble if he shows up? And for a few years, you were like that, and it affected you. But then, whatever happened, something happened to me where I go, I can't change if he shows up or doesn't show up. I can only change if how I play. And all of a sudden, you learn, right? Well, you do your job. If you do your job, no one can say anything to you. And then it's up to the others to do their job. And each player there in Buffalo now needs to get into the thing of, I'll do my job. I'll do my job. That's it. Do your job. Then, if whoever's slacking, whoever's not doing it, it's Brandon Bean's job, Sean McDermott's job, get rid of and get replacements. But hopefully, we won't need to get to that. Hopefully, the week off will settle things down, get back into the rhythm of things, and then get back into being the team that's going to push and hopefully win this year's Super Bowl. Anyway, my friends, I'll leave you on that note. As always, stay safe, stay happy,